Hello, chat. I decided to start my day a little bit different. I'm going to do the live stream with Black Mesa first. I'm going to stream over the Lotus Eaters and take away all their viewership. And we're going to have a lot of fun. But then I'll be doing another live stream later tonight, which is going to be one of more classical live streams that I do, with just talking about politics and stuff, because I haven't done that in quite a while, and I noticed that people are tuning out. A lot of people do not like Let's Plays, and I asked why is that, and apparently they watch my live stream as a podcast while they're at work and they're doing other things, so they don't have the ability to look at the screen, and because of that, I'll have to change things around a little bit, but I do want to finish this game. I have said that I'll finish it, and gosh darn it, I'm going to do my best to try that. And if that means streaming at a different interval, if that means doing 2 live streams a day, let's go. Let's do this. Also, the game is actually going to get a little bit more interesting, because up till now we've been fighting head crabs, and we've been fighting various bosses that you can't defeat just by attacking them straight up. And we now have more difficult enemies. We got the military. Got the government being here to help. I love the fact I have an entire speech saying how people don't like me doing Let's Plays, and then I have a genius in the chat by the name of Katis Fineto suggesting that I would play Mistia Izakaya. Okay, look, I'm pretty sure Mistia Izakaya, a game that if I go on the street, no one knows about. But this is the game of your childhood. Like, I can imagine Katis Fineto growing up with it as a little kid, and it means a lot to him. And he would like to see his favorite streamer, which is me, playing Mistia Izakaya. Right? Like, I'm pretty sure this is something that you'd like to see. But no one knows about that game, okay? No one fucking cares. Just stop it. Get some help. I'm not going to play Mistia Izakaya. Holy shit. Fuck is a Mistia and what is an Izakaya anyway? Government officials. Whoa! They don't do that in the original game. Which, by the way, is kind of cool. I guess the way to fight these soldiers, the best way, is to fight them at long range. They lose a lot of their accuracy. You can actually strafe some of their bullets. And... oh, shit. In this game, most of your weapons don't have that much of a recoil. So you're actually very accurate compared to modern shooters. I mean, look at this accuracy, look. Sorry about that. I really apologize, that came out of nowhere. You should have thought more about your life choices, man. Now look at you. You're dead. People wanting me to link to my wallpaper. Dude, I have no idea where I got it from. Every time I get a wallpaper, I look at like sexy anime girl or something like that. You know, sexy American anime girl. And I go on Google results and I pick something that's not hentai, but it's still beautiful for the retina. And that's how I get my wallpaper. I do believe this particular one might be from the Patriotica comic, which was a comic artist back in the day. I believe it was 2016. was in 2016, and this was at the height of censorship when the screeching was the loudest, and he just wanted to make a comic book like in the old days, which was like praising America and had a beautiful lady on the box. And I helped him out. Now, he didn't get part of Comicsgate. I don't know why. But we kept in touch a little bit. I even got an email present from him, like the first issue and whatnot. I think I still have it in my drawer. So yeah, that's where the wallpaper is probably from.
They say it was at ground zero.
Science team. What, so you think this guy's responsible? Sabotage, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. All I know for sure is this guy's been killing Marines.
Oh, I'm fighting Marines.
He'll pay. He will definitely pay.
This is how video games in the past used to tell stories. Like, you didn't get a cutscene like you'd have now. You know, like if Half-Life was made now, you'd have a cutscene with two soldiers walking around and talking about this. But back in the day, the way video games were telling stories is that you would actually have two enemies talking to each other. And if you wanted, you could listen. But if you didn't want to, you could just open fire, right? So you had full immersion. There was no cutscenes involved. There was no interruption of the gameplay. I definitely think that this had its particular charm. Like, I can understand if the developers don't want people to miss out on the story. But the thing is, there are a lot of people who don't care about the stories. Like, I know people who just press escape on every single cutscene, like Sargon of Akkad, for example. Like, he doesn't give a shit about the story. And for those type of players, it's incredibly infuriating to force them to watch a cutscene. Also, something else reminiscent of that time. Most video games back then were incredibly gory. The main reason for this was actually censorship, fun enough. Like, you had the ESRB and you had many other concerned parents and various activist groups that wanted to censor video games. It started with Mortal Kombat. They didn't like the violence of it. And for a while, comic books and video games were heavily censored. Because, again, like they needed to get that ESRB ranking so they can sell more copies. But after a while, I don't know when exactly, I think like early 2000s or stuff, you have a backlash against that type of censorship. People just go, fuck it. And now you have, like, for example, here, right? You have this body part just flying off of the soldier because I threw a grenade on it. And I have to say, this is very tame for the games that came out during that time period. Like, there was a game, Soldier of Fortune, I remember, where if you shot someone in the belly, you would have his guts coming out. You had games like Manhunt from Rockstar. I mean, they were going really hard on the whole violence thing. You don't see that now anymore. Like, now, if you play video games, yeah, sure, you might have some violence. But mostly, it's like the bodies just drop like this, and then you have the AI making them disappear. I don't know if you can actually make the body explode. Yeah, you can't do that. I think in the original Half-Life, you could actually make the body explode if you hit him repeatedly with a crowbar. I want to play Half-Life Alyx, like someone suggested. The main problem is I don't have a VR headset for the computer. I'm still trying to pay the mortgage for my house, and spending money on a VR system for my computer would be incredibly expensive. And even if I were to do that, I would still not be able to stream that game. I mean, technically I could, but you guys wouldn't get the VR experience. So it would just look like a bland first-person shooter game, and I don't want to do that because the game is designed for... Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, the game is designed for VR. You know, many shooters, and I remember from that day, like you have a sentry gun, You should not use it, because you're a stationary target. So instead what you want to do is you want to take alternative routes and stuff. Ow, ow, ow. Good. I got stuck in something. I don't know what, but... Where's the door? Where's the exit? Okay, you know what? Just kill me and we'll redo this. Max Payne. Yeah, Max Payne is a really good game. But I don't think the graphics stand out. A lot of people say graphics aren't everything. They're kind of half right, but at one point when the game is very old, you do start to get bothered by the graphics. Oh wow. I need to go back to the entrance, where I have the advantage of having a wall behind me and I don't have to deal with any of this bullshit. But I don't know where the entrance is at, so goddamn it, kill me. Okay, fine. I got myself in a very bad position. God damn it. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit difficult because the save spot is not where I want it to be. Okay, I think I know what to do now. Hold on. Oh shit, only 2 HP. Okay, well, I didn't know what to do. Is there no way to go back to the previous saving point? Because I really don't like where the game is forcing me to reload. Load game. Alright. Yeah, this looks a lot better, I think. Still an autosave, but hopefully it's not where the game forced me to reload from. So you're kind of forced to go into that arena. I understand now, but still, like, you can clear up some of the bad guys from here. Because the thing is, like, when you go down there, you're kind of completely surrounded, and you don't have many places to take cover because they use grenades. This is a lot better. The AI in this game is really bad, though. Like, look, I remember in the original game, they wouldn't just stand out like that and just allow you to shoot at them. Like, they would take cover, they would do other things. They did a really good job at remodeling the textures and stuff, but... when it comes to the AI, I don't know what happened, but... Well, now I don't have any more ammo, shit. Is there no ammo to pick up from here? Did I not miss anything at all? Yeah, okay, I don't manage to do damage. Hold on. No, you don't. You don't get access to the rocket launcher now. I remember there's a scene where you're chased by a helicopter, and it's so annoying because you don't have a rocket launcher at that point. The problem with the shotgun is that it's really, really bad at long ranges. This is video game mentality. It's okay, I can use my handgun now. This is a lot better than using the assault rifle. I can use my full semi-automatic ghost gun weapon of war and get to feel like an IRS agent while taking down these soldiers. Pew, pew. Their AI at the time used to be the best in the business. I think this is the first game where the soldiers would actually use flanking tactics. And they would cooperate with each other. Is that all of them? Well, it looks like all of them. Alright. Ow. Jesus, that fucking hurt. Wasn't recommending you to stream it, but seeing you scream at headcrabs jumping on you would be hilarious. I don't think I can scream at video games anymore. Like, I passed that age. By the way, like, there's a lot of streamers that do Let's Plays, and I really tried seeing, like, what works, okay? Because I noticed on my stream, when I do a Let's Play, I get only 10% of viewers. And there's two ways of people playing, right? It's like, one of them is getting shocked at everything, like, for dramatic effect. It's like, oh my god, oh, look, there's an explosive battle. Oh my god, I almost shot it. Oh, Jesus, oh no. So this is like one of the first type of Let's Players, and the other type of Let's Players is the ones that get excited at everything. It's like, oh my god, oh look, it's a supply crate. Oh, you guys, oh, this is a supply crate. Oh my god, oh look, it dropped an energy pack. Oh, this is so awesome. Oh my god, oh. I hate doing that. Like, I just can't. Like, I know that would actually get me views. I know that's what's popular and that's what people want to see for some goddamn reason. But I just can't play like that. And the main problem is, hold on. There should be a way to disable the alarm clock while you're doing other things. Alright. Yeah, you don't want to die of cheese. I get it. I mean, maybe when you're a kid, those reactions are legit. Like, when you start playing video games for the first time. But I, for instance, just can't get scared of anything anymore. Video game related. Unless it's a jump scare, of course. But you realize it's a game, right? So when you put that VR headset on, like, you know that everything is a game. So even if a headcrab jumps on you, I wouldn't be afraid of that. I mean, I used to play Resident Evil 7 in VR on the PlayStation, and that one is very realistic compared to most other games. And I don't get scared. I'm like, okay, well, this is a video game. It can't hurt me. I just can't get hyped. Also, like, when you play video games, you kind of get the feel for how they're designed. Like, for example, I know that if I go down there, there's going to be a loading screen. Right? And it's not that I played the game and I know by heart. It's just that I feel like it, and apparently I was wrong. It's a lot better when the military has some personality, and you see that the grunts don't appreciate the fact that they're killing civilians. If I'm not mistaken, the story of the game is that they sent the military to clean up all the survivors, but then they also sent up another cleaning team to clean up the military. That is not true. Headcrabs do not insta-kill you, even in the original Half-Life.
Launch system activated. 20 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Launch.
Yeah, they sent the Black Ops. That is correct. And you do find them in the opposing force. It's a really interesting, funny story. It's like the government keeps backstabbing people. And after that, they also set the nuke on Black Mesa, so the Black Ops die as well. It kind of makes you wonder in Half-Life 2 if you're doing the good thing by saving the planet. Because like after that point, it's like, what's the point? Like, how are people worth saving if they behave like that? Like, send the military to murder civilians, and then you send the Black Ops to murder the military, and then you nuke the base, killing the Black Ops. It's like, well, is there any good left? Well, I did what was expected of me. I launched the goddamn missile, but the question is where to go now. Yeah, Elon Musk would have been proud of that launch. Is there a scientist remaining or something that I need to get? Oh. I see now. So there were a different type of headcrabs in Half-Life 2, actually. You had the poisonous headcrabs, and I think those were black. And they would take your HP down to 1, but then it would slowly start to regenerate. So the person who said that headcrabs would insta-kill you, like, maybe they're thinking of that. Although, headcrabs instant killing you on hard would actually be really cool, because it would make this into more of a horror game. Like, you would be afraid of going in, and you would constantly check every corner, and it would add a lot of immersion to the game. Guard Duty and Operation Black Mesa, that would be really cool. The thing is, I don't know why people don't play this on multiplayer, and yes, it does have multiplayer. For some reason, people just don't like arena shooters. And game developers don't want to make arena shooters either. I mean, we saw with Doom, right? What is that bullshit? Like, in Doom, you get to select your loadout, and you're not fighting against other players. Well, you are fighting against other players, but it's not, like, it doesn't have a deathmatch. Why can't you just have, the same old thing? Like, you start with a gun, and you go around the map, and you pick up weapons. Now, I don't think you can be killed by a headcrab in Half-Life 1. Shit. And I think this is meant to happen. I wonder what the soldiers thought when they saw that. I don't use camouflage. I think the HEV suit is bright orange. In a few points in Half-Life 2 at its episode, the devs drop head crabs to spook players. Well, yeah, I mean, the game is supposed to be a little bit horror-oriented. Like, you're supposed to feel a little bit of dread. So, a lot of enemy placement is with the design in mind to jump scare the player. And they're really good jump scares because they're not scripted or anything. They're very immersive oriented. Oh, god damn it. Wait, is this a valve puzzle? Do I have to do the puzzle where I pick the barrels away from the crate? I guess not. You know, now that I think about it, like, one of the main questions about this game is if Gordon Freeman is a Gary Sue. Because he manages to do all of this insane things, like beating aliens and beating the soldiers and all of that, and he's got no training besides being a doctor. And one of the explanations that I thought is that the HEV suit is actually really that good. Because the game does make a big deal in hyping up this goddamn suit. I hate these type of fights where they have the high ground. You know what? Maybe I can just do this and then have to fight them like that. Games used to be good, but I've never had money. My god, I can relate with that so fucking much. So, I used to go to school, and the school was 10 kilometers away from my house, which meant that I had to walk 10 kilometers towards school and 10 kilometers coming back from school. So that was 20 kilometers. It doesn't sound that bad, you know. But when you think about that, you had to walk them every single fucking day, and you had to go through rain, through snow, through whatever the weather conditions were at. And I would do this, not because I didn't have bus money, but precisely because I had the bus money. So, my parents would give me bus money, right? Like, my parents never gave me pocket money because we weren't very rich family. So, I never got a lot of cash on me. Especially never cash to buy a video game. Like, that was just... Like, if my parents found out that I bought a video game, they would be really upset. So, I would walk to school... And I would come back from school just to save the bus money. And then I would, you know, after several months of saving like that, I would buy a video game. And you're absolutely right. Like, video games back then were really cool, but I never had the money to buy them. And I would also not buy anything to eat at school for the same reason. Like, I would save the lunch money as well. And the problem is, I read the papers nowadays, and it's like, oh my god, kids are not going to get the free lunch meal from the government. Oh, that is so fucking horrible, you guys. That is literally third world country. Like, how are the children going to cope without lunch money from the government? I'm like, holy shit. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's, oh, I mean, I can totally relate to that. Now, of course, you know, being in Eastern Europe and all, like, piracy regarding software was a thing. So many people pirated their video games. But if you wanted to play multiplayer, so if you wanted Half-Life, for example, right? You had to get the game. And there was another thing as well. Like, back in the day, like, especially really early,
Major fracture detected. Automatic medical systems engaged.
most games were called ripped, right? So ripped meant that all the cutscenes were removed from the game. In order to like fit as many pirated games on disc as possible, I guess. And back then, like, cutscenes weren't that much of a thing either, but you would get like these games, and you had absolutely no cutscenes on them, so you didn't really understand what was going on with the plot. And if you wanted the cutscenes, you'd have had to buy the original game. And I remember, like, for the first time playing StarCraft or Diablo with all the cutscenes intact at a friend's house. I was like, oh my god, that is so amazing. Like, wow, wow, this game has cutscenes? Like, whoa. So yeah, that's why people would have still wanted to buy the original game. Even if they didn't have money, they would save a lot. Because, number one, you got to play in multiplayer. Which, believe it or not, was a major event. And secondly, you got to see the cutscenes. Your school needed money for lunch. So there were many types of schools, right? Like, in my country, most schools, like, they didn't care about lunch at all. The way lunch worked is you bought your lunch from your home. It's like going to work, right? So your mom would pack up your lunch. And most kids would have, like, some fruits. Some assholes would actually have salami. And they were assholes because they stunk up the place. But yeah, basically, like, you had the lunch break, it was called. And anything that you had from home, you could eat during the lunch break. But there were kids that didn't have anything. So it wasn't, like, a big deal because you'd end up arriving home at 2 p.m., 1 p.m. anyway. And you'd eat lunch then. So it wasn't a major thing. But some kids that were more rich and they had money, they could actually purchase stuff. So there were like kiosks and stuff that would sell various I don't even think that they're called lunches, but like you could buy a chocolate corn or something like that, you know, a pack of yogurt or whatever, and that was the lunch. Oh, Gunsmith Cat seems to know what I'm talking about. The thing is, like, I'm talking about these events as if I expect that everyone knows what I'm talking about, but in reality, there's a lot of people who grew up without even knowing about the fact that you had pirated games, like 6 or 7 games on a disc, and they had no cutscenes. And even then, there are people who grew up and they have no idea what a disc is. Like, I'm pretty sure there's people who grew up since the USB came out and they have no idea what a DVD or a Blu-ray is. And to be honest, that makes me feel old as fuck. Ah, shit. Fuck. What's interesting in Eastern Europe is that when people didn't have money, like, there used to be a time when the wage in Eastern Europe was like $100, right? So, like, buying a video game was definitely out of the question. They were expensive as fuck. Like, no one could afford them even if they wanted to. So, during that time, obviously, piracy was at an all-time high. Wait, they can walk on land now? Please tell me no. But anyway, right, so during that time, piracy was an all-time high when people couldn't buy their own stuff, right? Like, But as people got richer, and this is very interesting, and you can even say it's quite wholesome. As people got richer, even though they could pirate, they would still choose to buy the game from Steam, and they would say, well, yeah, but I'm supporting the game developer. And the thing is, like, the piracy laws in my country, they were... How should I even say? They were not enforced, right? Like, piracy is illegal. But back then, and even up till today, like, you're not going to get in trouble. Like, no one is trying to see whether or not your computer... Unless you're a company. Like, if you're a company, you're going to get an inspection or something like that. But, like, no one is inspecting private people to see what's in their home. Even the Romanian president said at one point that piracy actually helped Romania develop its IT industry. But even though that's a thing, right? Like, even though it's kind of like the shopping cart litmus test. Like, even though you can get away with it, most people stopped pirating when they started having money. Like, they just buy games from Steam, they just buy stuff. And I do agree with Lord Gaben. Piracy is a service issue. That is 100% correct.
Did you see it? They claim it was hauled from the Challenger Deep, but I'm positive that beast hasn't swam in terrestrial waters until a week ago. There is a tranquilizer gun in the shark cage, but I'm not sure it would work on this particular species. You're more than welcome to try your hand.
So, this is the way the game tells you the story, right? Like, it's not a cutscene, it doesn't tell you anything. What they want to show here is that the research facility Black Mesa, they managed to find this alien world Zen. And they would keep this a secret even from their own scientists. So they would bring back specimens from Zen, like, for example, that fish we saw earlier. And they would tell their scientists that it's from Challenger Deep. And they would do experiments on the aliens. So basically what they're trying to say is that there was a lot of secrecy involved. Now, if you're one of those players that don't care about the story and you're just, you just want to run and gun, like, that's fine. The game doesn't punish you for it. But if you're a person that cares about the lore and you really want to know what went on, then you can replay the game and you can pay more attention to the details and stuff like that. Where's the crossbow? Ah, here we go. Well, it's not like I can get out of it until it falls in the water anyway, so. Hey, now I'm in the shark cage. Where's the shark? Ah, here we go. Yeah, the way the economy worked in the early 2000s and late 90s was that some people managed to get rich or had money. And what they did was they purchased really fast internet. And with fast internet, they would pirate games and then sell it to other people, and they would get even richer. Like, there was a guy in my town which made millions of dollars during the early 2000s. Like, I mean, that is an insane amount of wealth for a European. Like basically, you're the Elon Musk of Romania, let's put it like that. And you know, like, usually the cops wouldn't do anything about piracy, but with that guy, like even the cops were like, okay, well, you're too fucking greedy. So they went after him. They eventually arrested him. And he had to serve time in prison and also pay back some of the money he got from doing this. So basically, even in Eastern Europe, there was a limit to piracy. Like, yeah, sure, you wanna get some video games and stuff. Yeah, like, the cops wouldn't do anything. But if you made like $1 billion venture, and not pay to the government. And of course, there was no way to pay to the government because it's illegal activity. So. Yes, Elon Musescu. That's. This is one of the only things that I complain about this game, and it happens a couple of times where they put enemies right next to a loading area so that if you back up, you get the loading screen again. Well, that's not a nice way to teleport. I wonder if these aliens, they prepare for insertion. It's like, alright, let's go. You know, like, they do weeks of trading. And then they go into the teleporter. And they end up in front of a shotgun, and that's it. He did not pay his dues to the local police. What's actually funny about that is that he was doing his business right next to the police station. There are people of color in this game. I think they made some security guards to be people of color. I don't even know if what I'm doing is correct because I keep going down, but I don't know if I'm going to run out of oxygen or anything like that. Yeah, I did a boo-boo. I shouldn't have gone this down. I might drown now. One of the cool things about this game is that you regain health after drawing. Wow, thank you, Blacklisted. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Blacklisted likes the fact that I'm streaming Black Mesa. I see what you're doing there. One of the things that I like to make fun of people on Twitter when they use the term people of color is to use people of non-color as a term. Right? 'Cause, like, they use people of color, they want to say non-white. That's what they want to say. So if, like, you want to play the game where you avoid what you want to talk about, like, go, like, people of non-color. You make it sound like there's a lot of them. Because, like, one of the games that progressives like to play is to inflate the numbers, right? So they want to get people that don't really have anything together, like, they don't really have... They don't belong to a political group, but they want to make it seem like they do, right? So, for example, the LGBT moniker, right? Like, lesbian and gay and bisexual are sexualities. Transgender is not a sexuality, right? Like, you can be trans and you can be straight. Like, it's not a... But they mash them together. Okay, and then they also use, like, on the LGBT flag, they put the color black and brown so that they can now add races to it. Right? Like, they artificially build these political constructs with people that probably have nothing in common, necessarily. Well, I mean, the left will say, well, yeah, but it's like the oppression that they have in common or whatever. You get what I'm saying. And the whole purpose for this is to artificially increase the numbers and make it seem like, well, it's actually like a huge... It's like the overwhelming part of the population. Because, like, what they're trying to do is to exclude the ones, you know, that are the problem. The straight, cisgender, white, patriarchal, blah, 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 you know? Well, yeah, black and white are not considered colors, but you know. We got a G-Man cameo that I probably should have mentioned. Oh. Another one of these jumping puzzles, I see. I wonder if anyone would have had the courage to do this in real life. Like put yourself in the shoes of Gordon Freeman and you see this thing. I mean, at this particular speed, I think I can do it. It looks safe. Let's put it like you're probably not going to die if it's such a slow motion. Can I climb it from here? Can I? No, I can't cheat the puzzle. Yeah, if I were to make Half-Life 3, I would have to make it for a modern audience. And I would definitely have to make the G-Man gay. Because otherwise the modern audience doesn't like it. Oh shit. Oh my god, that is such an amazing way of making this. So God. Okay, so they know that this is slow, right? So you can't die at this puzzle, but what they do is they summon a head crab to distract you. This is brilliant level design, okay? So the head crab is there in order to distract you and forget about your actual objective. It's like the head crab is harmless, like it can't do anything against you. But like when you reach this, it spawns there, and people will do what I tried to do, and you get killed. See, I really like this level design. And it's really your fault. Like you don't. It doesn't feel cheap, right? Like it doesn't feel like, oh, the developers have pulled a beat trick on me. Like if the developers would have dropped some head crabs on top of you, you'd be like, oh, well, that's cheap. But the way they did it is actually amazing, because I do feel like it's my fault and it was avoidable. Ow. You can stop the machine at the right time? Maybe, I don't know. The way I did it is more fun. I never thought about stopping it. Well.
Gordon Freeman, it is you, isn't it? The science team has been tracking your progress with the Black Mesa security system. Unfortunately, so has the military. That suit of yours is full of tracking devices. Still, it's better than going naked in this place. It's cold in there, so you'll have to hurry. It could sap your suit power in a matter of moments. If you're bent on reaching the Lambda complex, then you'll want to keep to the older industrial areas where the security system is full of holes. It's worked for me, so far.
How is it going through the cold? I remember this level. Yeah, it's really bad. You get constant damage. Why are the Vortigards not affected by the cold is what I want to know. Let's stop picking on Dr. Fauci. He saved lives, okay? I think Agent 47 can do you from the front as well as the back. Now that I'm playing this game, I realize it doesn't really have that much enemy variety. Like when I initially played it, it felt like there's a very rich variety in enemies, but oh.
I got a message for you. Make sure you don't.
Now we're fighting the Black Ops, yeah, and I'm talking about enemy variety. So, if I remember correctly, they used to be women, and they used to be stealthed. And they were very annoying to deal with. But they removed the stealth, I see. Oh no, they still have it. Alright. Holy shit, they do a lot of damage, don't they? They do look like hot mamacitas, don't they? I mean, they do have unrealistic depictions on them, let's put it like that. Chat, don't be misogynism. Don't do the misogynismus in my chat, okay? Yeah, in this game, the invisibility is not so bad because they have like that helmet with the red dot, so at least you know where they are. But in the actual original game, they were insanely annoying to deal with because they didn't have the red dot. So not only do they deal a lot of damage, but most of the time you don't know where they're coming from. Can I fly the chopper? No, I guess not. See, this proves that Gordon Freeman is not a Garisu. If he was a Garisu, he would know how to fly the chopper. Oh shit.
I got a message for you. Make sure you.
Oh, he dies anyway. That's interesting. I guess there are scripted parts in this game after all. Oh. I think they also kick you if you get too close. In this timeline, the ricochet from my bullet gets him, yeah. This is why you never fire warning shot, chat. They're dangerous. God damn it! Now I'm without ammo and armor. Shut the fuck up! Now, look what she made me do. Made me become a misogynist. These are some of the hardest enemies in the game. What the fuck? Oh, all right.
Guy? Yeah. We got him. Alright, come on, give me a hand here. Jesus, this guy's heavy.
Hey, I tried to lose weight.
Where are we taking this Freeman guy? Topside. For questioning. What the hell for? We got him. Why not just kill him now? And just find the body? Hey. No body.
Oh shit, chat. Oh shit. Yeah, I never understand this. Like, why didn't they shoot him in the head? Made absolutely no sense. Alright, we'll stop it here. Thank you for watching, and I'll probably stream again, same time tomorrow. I'll keep the afternoons for my original streams, because I do get the hint that people don't want me to do Let's Plays that much. But at the same time, I want to do Let's Plays for you guys that are interested, so I think this is a good compromise. I will do the Let's Plays during the day, and I will then do an actual stream during the night. So thank you a lot for watching. I appreciate it. And tune in again tomorrow for the continuation. I think we will have like 3 or 4 more episodes and then we're done. Alright, take care.